Hey everybody, we're sitting here at the Rock Island Armory Arms Corps booth at NRA 2025, and I've got my good friend Michael Bain here. Now Michael and me are holding the new TAC Ultras. Oh, they're old, but they're new in the fact that they are being made in U.S., but not quite entirely, right?
Not quite entirely, but I've been to the Cedar City plant in Utah, and everything that makes this a great gun is what happens there. And that's assembly, gunsmithing, fitment, finish. It's a great finish facility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and these guns are really super. This is pretty much the top of the line on the 1911s right now for you guys. And I think they're excellent guns. This is a 10 millimeter. And with a little bit of trick work, you can take this out as rolling death on hogs.
That's very true. And for those that don't know, the difference between my version and his version is my version is still like the old classic version where it's set up with iron sights and that's the only option. However, Michael's holding the AOS version, so talk a little bit about that.
Well, it's for people like me who are old. No, it's red dot sights really have kind of in a lot of ways taken over. And if you look at this in terms of a 10 millimeter hunting gun, one of the reasons that you might want a dot sight, a red dot, or a green dot sight, is a lot of premium hunting time is early morning, afternoon, when you don't have that much light. And a good solid aiming point, a really good dot, is going to help you out. I have one of these guns. It has an aim point mounted on the frame, and it's a great hunting gun. The sight doesn't reciprocate. The sight stays locked on the frame, and it's a lot like shooting a rifle. Mm-hmm. And so, but the same thing is, you look at competition, you often see the red dot sights, the reflex sights have taken over, and it's because it buys you some. It doesn't make you a better shooter. A lot of people are like, I'm going to get a red dot sight and be a better shooter. I'm like, no, you're not. You're going to be exactly the same shooter you were when you lined up the iron sights. That's not what makes you. You know, you're a great competitor. You know what it takes to be a good shooter.
Oh no, people! Michael got drunk.
You know? But no, it's. I always thought that was the funniest thing when people say, "I got a red dot sight so I can shoot better." So you might ought to buy some ammunition, and it's conceivable that you would be able to shoot better at the end.
Right.
But it's interesting that 1911s are once again going through yet another. Well, they're great guns. The trigger pull on 1911s is super. Yeah, it is. And these guns are to me, a great value. I said I love 10 millimeter in a heavy gun. So when you load up these, I would like to load up a 10 millimeter round that would actually cause a hog to explode. So by the time I got to it, it would already be barbecued. I just had to add a little sauce.
Well, so the cool thing about the AOS system from RIA USA also, or the AOS line of, or TAC Ultra, I'm sorry, the TAC Ultra line of firearms from Rock Island Armory USA now, you get some options. We get them in 9mm, 10mm, and 45 ACP in the high cap versions. And then we have the 45 ACP also in the single stack version. So if you're interested in more information, make sure you check it out at the armscorps.com website.